anyway for Game of Thrones, and then it just got really big, and it's really exciting, and was exciting to be a part of it, you know. It's just escalated into something much bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I think it's got the biggest budget in TV history. I think it's that one episode costs what it used to anyway, around the region of something like $6 million for one episode.
I think it's 10. The first season was 10, I think. Yeah, it was $100 million for the first season, I think.
All right, who would like the first question from the audience? All right, hang on. Hey.
What would you say is your best scene that you've done?
Ooh, I think killing myself. The best scene. It's just, I think any actor can really say. I'm not sure, but personally, I prefer killing because it's just fun. It's just, it's not normal. It's like every day you might act out normal scene, sort of calm, chill, but you don't really get this sort of adrenaline to just get you killing. It's fun. It's just fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Same again. Just getting your head chopped off is, you know, it's probably never going to happen to you, you know. So to sort of emotionally go there for that fear of, you know, it's about to happen for real, it was a really interesting thing as an actor to do, to put yourself in that terrifying position. That was my favourite scene, getting my head cut off, actually. It wasn't my bank manager's favourite scene, but certainly mine.
Okay, next question, guys. Oh, yes, there's a hand right up there. Claire, keep your hand up, my man. We'll get the microphone up to you.
Did you ever read the books before you started the series? And if you did, what was your favourite moment?
Did you read the books in it?
No.
I read the first two, and then I sort of didn't have time because I was already immersed in the show by then. And Peter Dinklage said, "I'm not reading them," so I said, "I'm not either."
Yeah, I didn't read the books before, but I could tell by stuff online that it's a bit more violent and worse than the actual series. But yeah, I'm glad I haven't read them yet.
Okay, our next question is a gentleman right in the middle.
A question for Mr. Carter. Do you think Jon Snow knew that Jon Snow betrayed Ned Stark, and when he got executed, it was like an act of revenge?
I think that was the clever thing about the writing, is that he didn't need to know, but as an audience, we knew. So it was, revenge was sweeter, wasn't it? You know, so I think sometimes it doesn't matter if a character knows something, but the writing was so clever that it introduced that extra bit of sweetness in the revenge, and it was all very clever, all that stuff, I thought. Very good.
Next question, folks. Yes, you saw it the first time I saw it, and then there's a hand up there, so we'll come to you, and then we'll work your way up.
What was your funniest experience from the set of Game of Thrones? Have you got any, funny stories to share?
I've got a couple.
I think in season 1, I had to go to the loo in the middle of one of the scenes, and you know, it's just like this place. You know, you just find a toilet, and you just sort of go, and there was someone in the cubicle, and I was just in the urinals, and the cubicle opened, and it was Khal Drogo, and I absolutely bricked it. It was just like, and he was in costume. And it was just sort of like, oh my God, not the face. You know, it was just this, because he's so enormous, you know, and it was, that was a bit weird.
Yeah, it's not that funny, to be honest, but people on set found it funny. There was a time when Hafnor, who plays the Mountain, he had to wear like proper real armor, and it's very heavy. You had to have like five people like just putting it on. So when he comes down the steps, there's a small bit where he sort of trips and he almost fell down he almost fell down the stairs, and yeah, a lot of us made jokes about him getting drunk. So
dangerous joke.
Yep.
All right, the next gentleman up there.
Question for both of you. Do you ever look back and watch it yourselves and think like how good you were, or if there was anything you could have done better?
Personally, I always think I can do better for anything that I watch. I try not to watch myself back because I think, oh no, I wish I could do that again, but obviously you're not allowed, so you know it's not going to happen. So I try and steer away from it myself. What about you?
Yeah, it's sort of the same with me. You sort of look back on yourself and you're like, oh, I could have done that scene better. Or there are times when like you'd finish the scene and you just realise, why didn't I do this instead of that? So yeah.
Yeah, you can kind of torture yourself with all your work, you know, when you look back on it. It's sort of like, oh, I wish I'd made that decision and not that decision, but just got to go with it, you know.
Thank you.
Yes, gentleman down there, keep your hand up, my man. There we go.
This question's mainly for Dominic. You kind of had experiences on King's Landing and up at the Wall. Did you prefer one setting to the other and the actors that you're working with?
I've got to admit, working on the Wall was brilliant because it was just like a big bunch of lads. By the time I arrived, there was a massive rapport amongst them, and they were having really good fun despite the weather in the mountains of Mourne, which is such a grim place anyway. And it's always raining and it's always freezing. And there was a real camaraderie amongst all the Night's Watch, and it was really good fun. Yeah, very different from King's Landing with all the high maintenance actresses. Not you.
Okay, what I was going to kind of expand on that. What was it like working on the set then? Because I think they do build those sets for the city, the internal city shots. What was it like working on that? Because obviously, if you can't go on location, they have to make it look as real as it can possibly be.
Things like the throne room is always the throne room, and that's in the main studio, which is called the Paint Hall, and it's an old paint hall in the docks in Belfast, and all the interiors are done in there. But some of the stuff that your stuff was in Spain, wasn't it? A lot of it.
Actually, no. Last year I think it was in Belfast last year, and it was horrible. We were filming in a place called Newcastle, which is underground, and it was dripping, it was wet, it was muddy, and I think sometimes there were like spiders falling from the ceiling. And I later found out that I was filming with Lena Headey, and I later found out that she had a phobia of spiders, so that didn't really help anything. But yeah, so it's not a great place, but hey, it's a good experience. So
yeah, I mean they do. You don't need much imagination when you walk on set. They build the world, and then you walk into it, and it's incredible. It really is something to behold. The amount of money and the attention to detail. You know, it's clever stuff.
Next question from the audience. Is you saw the first time I saw it.
Hi, I'm just wondering, this is for both of you, who is your favourite character in the series, and also who is your favourite actor to work with whilst you were on set?
My favourite character of all time is Arya Stark. I just like her. She's sort of a tomboy. She's sort of she's not one of the girly girls. She's got sort of a thick backbone, if you know what I mean. And the best person to work on on set. I think Anton Lesser, who plays Qyburn, he's a really nice guy. But also I have to say, I did at one point meet Peter Dinklage and I think Varys on set a while back. But they are the funniest people, funniest cast you'll ever meet. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think my favourite character is probably Tyrion. I think he's the central character of the whole thing, really. And just everyone that was on the Night's Watch, Mark Stanley, Ben Crompton, who's a local lad from around here. I was out with him last night. Kit, John Bradley, just really, really good fun. Good bunch of lads. Owen Teale, who's just become a really good mate and really good fun. All them boys are just really good laugh. Yeah.
Was any quick question for the audience, guys? Were any of you at the London show we did when Peter Dinklage was one of the guests? I can attest to how good a sense of humour that Peter Dinklage has. He snuck from his autograph table. He snuck out under the table, and he's like dressed like us, you're just everyday clothes, and he went and joined the back of his autograph queue. And then just started shouting, "Oh my God, this guy's taking forever, man, he's an absolute bastard." He's a bar steward, so he is. He's taking forever, what's wrong? And then just, people didn't realise it was him until he just walked down the queue and then sat round the other side of the desk.
Fantastic. Peter's an incredible sort of energy on set. Like, he has everybody in laughter, and he just makes everybody feel really, really comfortable. And I would say that's one of the hardest things to do as an actor, to be the lead and walk out on set and make everybody feel comfortable. It's a real skill. He's an amazing actor, I think, for that.
You gentlemen had another question here. We'll get the microphone down. So yeah. Thank you.
On your last day of filming, did you take any souvenirs from the show for yourself?
Is this a Scouse thing? No, I didn't actually. You're not really allowed to, because everything's recycled, My costume came off and I'm pretty sure it went straight onto somebody else, with a little bit of tweaking here and there. So I think those costumes cost a fortune, and certainly the weaponry is, as soon as you finish the scene, your sword's gone, your dagger's gone, and you're like, oh, okay, wow. And that's mainly just so they know where it is all the time, because there's so many weapons on set and stuff.
And if you had the chance, what would you have liked to have taken?
Kit Harington's head.
Candied plums.
Actually, no. They were actually horrible. Candied plums were horrible, actually. But I don't... I'm not sure. I just don't know at the moment. I'm on the spot, so...
Any questions, folks, from the audience? Yeah, we'll come to you, right? Oh, you should bring the mic down this time.
Who would you like to be? Who do you think should be on the Iron Throne at the end?
It's got to be Tyrion, hasn't it? Got to be. That's what I think.
I think the same. Like, he's one of the smartest guys in Westeros, and why shouldn't he be? Like, why shouldn't he? It's a question that loads of people are probably asking. So.
Who do you think? Yeah, Arya Stark, yeah.
Anyone else like Arya Stark for the throne? No, there's a lot of heads going, no.
Hands up who thinks Tyrion should be king.
Popular.
It's a popular vote.
Right, next question, folks. Anyone else got a question? Right. Was your question, who do you think should be on the throne or will be on the throne? Who do you think will be on the throne come the end?
I don't think Danny is going to be, because I have a feeling there's going to be sort of, like, it's just too, like, happy, it's too happy. It's the endings, it's just too predictable. And with Game of Thrones, it's sort of like people are dying, like, every episode, so, and Ned Stark, like, they killed one of the main characters in the first season, so, personally, I don't think Tyrion will be, but I don't think anyone's going to be on the Iron Throne, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it says something about the writing, doesn't it? That everyone, 7 seasons in, and people are still talking about it and wondering what's going to happen. It's so good, the writing, isn't it, for that? Yeah, I don't know if anyone heard that, but apparently there's a theory that there's lots of Valyrian steel on the Iron Throne. So when the White Walkers come, they're going to have to melt it down and use them as weapons. Sounds pretty good.
That would be interesting, yeah.
Sounds like a good scene. I'd watch that.
All right, next question, folks. Anyone else? Honestly, they don't bite.
What odds would you give that the world doesn't get saved at all in the end? The White Walkers just win and everyone dies.
That could happen as well, couldn't it? I mean, it's absolutely, yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
Are the bookies doing odds on it?
Yeah, probably.
They do odds on anything these days.
Yeah, they would, yeah.
What would you say has been your favourite scene to act in, and what's been your favourite scene to watch when you've watched back whatever episode you have?
Someone reminded me today of that of season 4, episode 9, the Watchers on the Wall, when the wildlings attack. That to be a bystander and watch that. I mean, obviously I went and hid in the cupboard, but I was there, watching all the good stuff that the heroes did, and that was extraordinary to see that. So 60 stuntmen involved in that. The whole thing was choreographed over 3 or 4 months, and Neil Marshall did an incredible job directing all of that. That really was something to behold, even from the pantry.
My personal favourite to watch back is, again, my favourite scene to do, which was killing Pycelle, because it's just sort of the tension of knowing, oh, I know what's going to happen, sort of thing. So it's just sort of fun to watch yourself back, but like especially that sort of scene, because you know what's going to happen, but it's just really nice to watch yourself back doing a scene like that, because it's they had to get like loads of, I think they used 2 stunt people, stunt adults, and they weren't stunt men, there was a stunt woman and a stunt man, but they had to get 2 adults to play as kids to take Julian's double down, because obviously we couldn't do it, because, yeah, I wish we could though, but we couldn't do it for safety reasons as well.
Next question, folks. Yes, there's like
so out of all the seasons from the first one through to present day, who's been your favourite death? Either sort of character who died or the way that they were killed.
Or the character that died, or the way they died.
Yeah, because there's been some fairly gruesome deaths from.
You got a favourite death?
Either between Ned Stark's death, because it's just so sad, but sort of like what's going to happen next sort of thing. but also Jon Snow's death as well. They're just my favourites, so yeah.
Yeah, but the one that really floored me, even though I sort of knew it was coming, was the Red Viper. That just absolutely floored me. I was so gutted at the end of that episode when the Mountain did that. I just sort of switched the TV off and just sat there gutted for ages. Because he's such a great guy, the actor that played him, and such a brilliant character, He's so tough, wasn't he? And he was, nice looking and everyone. You really wanted him to win. We were so behind him. That was, again, a really brilliant, clever bit of writing, to just rip the rug from under the whole thing. Very clever stuff. What's yours? Really? Yes. Exactly. He was so close, wasn't he? Yeah. Yeah.
All right, next question, folks. Yeah, hang on, I'll just pass the mic on.
If and when Varys returns to King's Landing, do you think the little birds would side with Qyburn or Varys?
Oh, I personally think it's going to be a half and half. I think more people are going to go for Varys because he was like the original sort of master, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I think it's going to be 3/4 Varys and a quarter Qyburn. Sorry that I got maths into this though. But yeah, I think it's going to be a sort of battle, sort of mini battle between both of them to get the little birds back. But yeah.
Okay. Next question, folks. Yeah, we'll come back to you.
What's the worst scene you did?
As in discomfort.
I think it was probably the first scene in Oathbreaker, which is episode 3, and it's like in when you act or when you're filming or doing stuff or not doing anything really, you do a lot of standing around, and I was standing for about the whole of the scene, and it's just your whole body hurts by the end of it. It's just sort of just like, yeah. So that was my least favourite scene to do, but I still enjoyed it. That was the only thing bad about it really. So
discomfort-wise, I think it was the scene where we burnt Mance Raider, because they built this. It was extraordinary. This sort of like 20 square foot Bunsen burner. And it was, and they just set it alight. We just sort of like, we'd all got red faces, and we were like, is there any chance we can move back a little bit from the fire? And we were like, no, stay there. And we were like, okay, good. All these amazing sort of suntans by the end of it in the middle of November.
I was going to ask, whose character would you say is, which character's journey has been your favourite to watch, like the whole arc through the series? I know it's not finished yet, but obviously a few characters have been on a really good arc.
There's so many, isn't there?
Arya.
Arya.
yeah, because I think Arya, because at first it seems like she's a stubborn sort of tomboy, and now she's sort of a sort of like a rebel sort of thing, sort of like an assassin almost. She sort of, I just like how she sort of grew from where she was a small girl, and now she's sort of she's now like almost seems like an adult now. So
yeah, I think I agree. I think her journey's been really interesting. She's sort of had a little bit of everything, hasn't she? And yeah, probably Arya Stark.
Any more questions out there, guys? We can take for a couple more yet.
Which character do you think did the worst deeds, Joffrey or Ramsay?
I think Joffrey, he was just despicable, wasn't he? Yeah, it's got to be Joffrey.
Yeah,
Ramsay's horrible as well.
I think Joffrey just by a tiny bit, because they're just like both horrible. If I could swear, and you would let me, but he's his character's not that good. So yeah.
You talked about the characters' deaths that have made you, that have shocked you when you've watched them back. Which character, I'll kind of flip it round then and say, which character's death has had you going, yes!
My own.
Is that even a question?
Oh, yes.
Well, I have to say Joffrey, because...
Yeah, Joffrey, definitely Joffrey, yeah.
Joffrey and Ramsay. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, we've got time for one or two more questions if anyone wants to ask any. Does it save me rambling on? Oh, you call yourself Game of Thrones fans. It's shocking. There we go. A couple of hands up. There we go.
Hiya. If you could be part of any other large franchise, which ones would you choose to be?
That's a good question, that.
Keep up with Kardashians. So I could kill them.
Hey! I'd love to be in Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
But, you know, we'll see. I can ride a motorbike.
Can you remember the quote for the Night Watch?
No. Can you?
No. Can you give us your best quote?
Yeah, well, there's the thing. What would be your character's favourite quote?
My character's...
Yeah, for both of you, yeah.
So do you mean like if my character had a quote? I'm just going to go with if my character...
When you're killing, you know, when you're stabbing Julian Glover, you know what I mean? What would you have said?
You can swear, go on. Can't you, Dad?
This is going to go on YouTube, remember?
Don't... I know how to kill.
Oh, that's nice. Mine would be, you can shove your order up your arse.
Yeah, so you get time for one more question if anyone wants to throw in a quick one. No? Oh, yes. There you are. Get the hand up.
Specifically for you, was there any point for the character of Janos Slynt where you felt any sympathy towards him, or did you think he was basically just completely merciless?
It's a good question. I mean, I think you've got to have sympathy for the character that you're playing, otherwise he becomes a bit one-dimensional. So you've got to sort of justify why you do horrible things to yourself.
Yeah.
As an actor, you've got to sort of like think, you know, why am I slashing this baby in half? And then you've got to default to the fact that, okay, it's an order, and you take your order seriously, and you're just a soldier, and it's what you do, it's your duty. So, because actually, to do that scene, it's a heinous thing. You can't, you know, so you've got to justify it. So you've got to have a little bit of sympathy for him anyway, just to get through it, you know.
On that rather happy note, ladies and gentlemen, we have run out of time, sadly. Please thank you, our Game of Thrones panel. Okay, and they are up the back signing all day today, so